Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, your dedicated source for credible developments and financial insight around the Iraqi dinar. Whether you've held on to dinar for years or are just now tuning in, what you're about to hear could be the most pivotal moment yet. Imagine standing on the brink of a major financial turning point, because that's where we are. Based on confirmations from trusted U.S. sources and regional contacts, the long-awaited revaluation agreement tied to the Iraqi dinar has officially been signed. This isn't rumor or hype. Insiders are referring to it as go time. Banks are trained, redemption centers are quietly staffed, and everything behind the curtain appears fully prepared. At the heart of this development is the confirmed signing of the revaluation documents. High-level government officials and financial insiders have verified that the necessary agreements and formalities are now complete. These aren't minor adjustments. This represents the culmination of years of negotiation and coordination. From economists to global banking institutions, a unified effort has brought us to this historic threshold. For long-time holders who've endured countless delays, this moment could finally mark the long-anticipated shift. Some of the most compelling signals are coming from U.S. banks and credit unions. Over the past few weeks, branches across the country, both large and local, have quietly initiated their internal protocols. Staff members have reportedly completed specialized training. IT systems have undergone updates, and in some cases, employees are being told to remain available on short notice. An employee from a Tennessee-based credit union disclosed they had been notified directly and told, "You are a redemption center. Be ready." Their energy and tone reflected that something very real is happening. Why is the U.S. so involved? It's all about stability and economic opportunity. A prosperous, self-reliant Iraq is in everyone's interest, particularly America's. The U.S. has invested heavily in Iraq's reconstruction, politically and economically. Facilitating this revaluation not only bolsters Iraq, it opens avenues for U.S. businesses and promotes regional peace. This isn't charity, it's a calculated part of a larger global strategy. Now, let's clarify what revaluation means in simple terms. A currency revaluation is the upward adjustment of a nation's official exchange rate, usually prompted by economic reforms and international policy shifts. In Iraq's case, the dinar has remained undervalued for decades, largely because of sanctions, wars, and economic dysfunction. Despite its vast oil reserves and abundant resources, Iraq's currency has never mirrored its true economic value. With rising political cooperation, international backing, and a more stable foundation, the country now appears primed to realign the dinar to better reflect its worth. For holders of the dinar, this could be a defining moment. Those who have followed every breadcrumb and waited patiently are picking up on something different this time. Reports of fully staffed redemption centers are no longer whispers, they're being confirmed. Financial professionals at institutions from coast to coast, including in major states like California and New York, are acknowledging internal directives and preparations. This round of movement feels different, not vague optimism, but real positioning. Of course, cautious optimism is natural. After years of promises that never panned out, many remain skeptical. But what's unfolding now shows a level of coordination we haven't seen before. Some of the biggest names in U.S. banking, such as Chase and Wells Fargo, are said to have modified infrastructure in anticipation of this process. It's not just American institutions involved. Reports suggest that international partners from Europe, Asia, and neighboring Middle Eastern countries are in close coordination with Iraq's leadership to support the dinar's re-entry into the global currency markets. This points to something far larger than just a single-country currency reset. Experts believe this may spark a ripple effect across other suppressed currencies, like the Vietnamese dong or Zimbabwe dollar. For dinar holders, now is the time to be alert and ready. Follow credible sources for instructions about 800 numbers, appointments, and exchange procedures. Make sure your dinar is stored securely. Review any proof of purchase documents or confirmation letters you may have, especially if acquired through private dealers or platforms. Having your identification and paperwork in order will smooth the redemption process once that final call comes. And above all, avoid panic selling. Even with rising chatter and undeniable confirmations, some individuals may be tempted to unload their holdings too early, but experts consistently advise patience. With everything appearing locked in, holding your position a little longer could lead to a far more rewarding outcome. The finish line after all this time seems closer than ever. As the momentum builds, online groups and financial communities are buzzing with activity. Platforms like Telegram and YouTube are seeing unprecedented levels of coordination among dinar holders. People are forming local groups, sharing instructions, and encouraging each other. For many, this isn't just a financial transaction, it's the culmination of hope, effort, and belief in a better future. And here's what makes it even more profound. Iraq, long associated with turmoil, is preparing to emerge as a respected and stable economic partner. With central bank reforms taking root, leadership working in lockstep with international allies, and the groundwork now finalized, the dinar may finally be stepping into the spotlight as a global currency of interest. And remember, this isn't just about big investors. Everyday people, veterans, families, retirees, those who bought in with hope and vision may soon find their decision life-changing. Whether you hold 100,000 dinars or 10 million, your journey is about to reach its most critical chapter. As we continue with this special update from Iraqi Dinar News, it's important to understand the wider significance of what's unfolding. This revaluation isn't just a moment for individual gain. It could become a case study in economic recovery, sovereignty, and the power of long-term planning. Iraq's currency history has been a reflection of its geopolitical struggles, but what we're witnessing now is a potential shift not only in valuation, but in global perception. A new financial chapter is opening, and nations around the world are watching closely. Behind the scenes, former President Trump's foreign policy legacy is also playing a role. While no longer in office, many of the economic and diplomatic channels opened during his administration helped establish a framework for deeper cooperation between Iraq and U.S. financial entities. His administration was instrumental in reducing barriers for Middle Eastern nations seeking to stabilize and rebuild. Though the current administration has continued forward with that momentum, the foundation laid previously can't be ignored. The revaluation may also serve as a signal to other economically repressed nations. If Iraq succeeds in executing this transition smoothly, with rising dinar value, strong central banking controls, and increased investor confidence, other nations with undervalued currencies might follow suit. This has already prompted renewed interest in currencies like the Vietnamese dong, the Zambian kwacha, and even the Iranian rial, though each comes with its own challenges. Financial institutions around the globe are also monitoring liquidity patterns. Banks in Canada, Germany, and the Gulf region are reportedly preparing in similar fashion. Some are adjusting forex portfolios in anticipation of what could become a gradual uptick in the dinar's global standing. This doesn't mean instant parity with major currencies, but it does suggest Iraq is being quietly welcomed back into the international financial community. At home, Iraqi leadership has been pushing reforms with renewed urgency. Key legislation to regulate financial transparency, stimulate domestic production, and attract outside capital has either passed or is now in advanced stages. These policies are designed to reduce dependency on oil exports alone and broaden the country's income sources. Agricultural initiatives, telecommunications expansion, and digital banking have all received government backing. The result is a stronger financial backbone capable of supporting a currency with long-term strength. For dinar holders in the United States, this isn't just a moment of passive waiting, it's a time to plan. As redemption procedures are confirmed, stay updated through verified channels, know the limits on transactions, be ready to provide identification and any documentation requested by institutions. Some exchanges may require appointments, and others may involve tiered rates depending on volume. If you're planning to convert a significant amount, consider consulting a tax expert to understand potential capital gains implications and options for minimizing liability. Also, watch for potential misinformation. As excitement builds, so does the flood of false claims and risky advice online. Always verify any claims that sound too good to be true. Be cautious with anyone promising guaranteed rates or early access for a fee. The safest path is through established banking routes or authorized redemption centers once they officially open. No reputable institution will ever ask for advance payments or offer secret deals through back channels. For some, the revaluation won't just mean extra funds, it could mean generational change. This is why the final steps matter. Think long-term. If the funds you're expecting arrive, will you reinvest, save, pay off debt, or build something new? A measured, thoughtful approach can turn one successful exchange into lasting financial security. This is about more than just numbers on a screen. It's about turning a moment into a future. Ultimately, IRA's journey from instability to financial resurgence is a story of patience, persistence, and potential. And for those who believed in the IQD long before the headlines caught up, this might finally be validation that it wasn't a fantasy, it was just a matter of timing. The pieces are falling into place. The signatures are on paper, and U.S. institutions are no longer ignoring it. That alone speaks volumes. So what happens next? Watch closely, stay prepared, be proactive. This revaluation may not be publicized with fanfare, but when the call comes, it'll come quickly. Those who have done their due diligence will be ready. The rest may scramble to catch up. Thank you for staying with us on Iraqi Dinar News. If you found this report helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and share this video with fellow holders who need to hear this. We'll continue bringing you every verified update as this historic financial moment continues to unfold. The end of the wait may be near, but the real journey is just beginning.